Well, hello everybody. Hello everybody. Six of you, five of you waiting. Hello everyone. Welcome to the CM Kozeman Chimkin live stream. I did have plans to devour an entire chicken meal live, but being hungry, I just fucking ate it all. So here we are. Four people joining the first weekend of the last month of the year of our Lord 2023. I am your host, CM Kozeman, and welcome to the stream where we get to speak about anything really. I mean, we can talk about paleontology, life, and stuff. And we usually have a core cadre of interesting people here, 10 of them now online. I will now wait for everyone to percolate. Just come on in, call your friends. If you're on Discord, if you're on Twitter, whatever, wherever you are, call the people you know, and let's get this party started. We got our drawing sheet here with the special arrow construction pen. I just love these things. They're basically used for like construction or like marking boxes, but it's actually an extremely versatile kind of pen with a kind of sloping nib. And you can draw anything with it. Bored Rashid says hello. Squidlord says that I must throw up my chimkin and eat it again. Oh, I don't think so. Where do you find your inspiration to create your art? We will get there all. But now call your friends, call everyone. Lexus Galavan says, okay, I will answer the questions, but let's wait for 2 more minutes for everyone to come in and consider this your waiting session. God damn, I look so handsome in this kitchen. Daddy Kozman's photogenic kitchen adventure. Daria Yavuz says, hi. Hello, hello, hello. My charming Turkish fan, yes. We are getting a stronger and stronger contingent of Turkish peoples in this channel, and it's always making me happy. Yeah. So for first time attendance, here let me describe. Please welcome to this channel. Consider supporting me on Patreon, or maybe donate to me on Buy Me a Coffee on the links shown here in the video description. Oh God, people are already coming in, both new people and, well, friends I already know from my own cadre of stuff. Yes, I'm getting all the questions, but I'm going to give it 1 more minute before we start answering. By the way, 13 people. Yeah, it's nice. Like, I hope you're all having a great time wherever you are. Loser says, hello. Well, hello, my friend. Why would people choose such self-deprecating names is beyond me, but I hope you're having a good time. I wore my nice clothes for you tonight. None of those PJ stuff. I want to look like charming and handsome. Yeah. So I got dappered up. Yes, very nice. Thank you for the streams. Thank you for the upload, says Lexus Galavan. Well, thank you for being with me, my friend. This journey would be nothing without you and everyone. Yes, with a belt and everything. Yes, I mean, I was just out and about in the town, and there's a bit of decorum with these stuff. So yes. Well, I think we're officially on 16 people, 4 minutes in. Hello, everybody, and thank you for your questions. I'll just skip the preamble. Patreon, support me. These podcasts, this pen, this tea, they don't grow on trees, and this is the time time in the history of humanity where everybody needs some support. So please consider supporting me right here. Now, before getting to the questions, I just want to ask, like, it's nearly the end of the year, and from a score between 1 to 10, how would you judge, like, how do you feel like tonight? 1 to 10. I want to see it in the comments while I answer questions. How do you feel like? Yes, yes, yes. Lexus Galavan says, are there any herpetology studies programs in Turkey? Yes, there are, mostly concentrated around the Ege University, which is the big university in what the fuck is this thing? Which is the big university in the city of Izmir. And there are a number of like really esteemed Turkish herpetologists, including Professor Baran, and of course I cannot forget the late Professor Bayram Göçmen, who was of Cypriot descent, one of the best scientists I've ever known. And well, I mean, so you can study herpetology if you come to Turkey. There are probably new species or subspecies awaiting discovery in this part of the world. A lot of stuff to study. And I mean, if you're studying zoology anywhere else in the world, you can probably come and like maybe spend a semester. Also, even if you don't like come here to study, if you just correspond with Turkish herpetologists, they're always a great bunch of people to interact with. So yes, how is everybody feeling? Fernando Katekaik says 8 out of 10. Kirsta is 11. Krista, my super supporter to this channel through the means of commissions. So thank you for being here, and I'm really happy you've cranked it up to 11. Da Junior is feeling 8. Squidyard is 7. A. Arnold is 8.3. Griffin Garain is 7.1 over 6. That's oddly specific. Pepular says, sick, relieved from the stress of this entire year. My body is finally feeling it and letting it all out. Well, my friend, and they give a grade of like 5 out of 10. So, I mean, without getting too personal, it's also been challenging to say, or interesting for me as well this year. But I hope you feel better, that's all. Loser, despite calling himself or herself a loser, is having an 8 out of 10. Okay, nice. Yeah, I wish everybody has a 7 and above. Theosis.exe says, hi, Daddy Kozeman. Hello, child. And I'm glad to see that you are feeling a 9 today. Thank you. As for myself, I think I'm like between 7 or an 8. So not bad, not bad. Yeah. All right. I wish everyone all the good points. Nearly 20 people here. So let's get some questions. I had another question here. How come there are no vertebrates that have become endoparasites? Is that even possible? Well, there's the infamous Candu catfish. So vertebrates are animals with backbones, obviously, like fish, reptiles, amphibians. And there are lots of parasitic vertebrates like the vampire bats or like oxpecker finches or like vampire finches. They just land on you and suck your blood. Okay, that's not bad. But to be an endoparasite, and a creature needs to live inside another creature. The closest they get is something called the Candu catfish, which is a kind of catfish that swims into the gill arches of other fish and lodges itself there and sucks their blood. In that perspective, you could also consider the famous pearlfish. So, look, there's an animal called a sea cucumber. It's actually a relative of sea stars, but it's like a cucumber shaped. It's actually shaped like something else if you kind of think more than a second about it. But in some giant sea cucumbers, you have this species of fish called, well, pearlfish is living in them. And unfortunately, well, actually, there's no fortune involved in this. They live in the anuses of these sea cucumbers. So you could consider that an endoparasite, but the fish actually doesn't hurt the sea cucumber. So it's not exactly a parasitic relationship. But it's not impossible to see something like a true parasite evolving from something like that. I think the problem comes from the respiration issue, because vertebrates usually have complex respirational needs, whereas invertebrates can just like and like live in blood or something. I don't know. Or it could be a selection bias. I mean, maybe invertebrates are so good at being parasites that vertebrates just don't get a fucking chance. Just give us a chance, damn it. I mean, and of course, like, I guess many people in this stream know about this, but let me just be redundant. The Candu catfish that swims into the gills of bigger fish is infamously known to swim into, well, the pee holes of guys and lodge itself there and create a nasty infection that can also kill people. So, well, there's a grotesque bit of information. Actually, let me draw that thing. Yeah, because we got our new pens and shit here. Okay. Let's go. It looks something like this. It's like barely even a fish. I mean, it's something like this. I'm probably mucking up the placement of the fins and everything, but like, and there are like spikes in these fins. So it goes. The Candu catfish swims up the gill arches of bigger fish. But in fact, this thing is like maybe this long or like even shorter. So tiny fish, big trouble. Yeah. And as always, we date our drawings, okay? As an artist, this is a lesson I keep giving to you. 2023, sign date. Even if you do the smallest, most messy, silly sketch, you must sign it, date it, so that you respect yourself as an artist, and you go looking back and say, oh, okay, you know, that day during the stream, I drew the catfish. So yeah. Yes. Well, many questions. Everybody cross your legs. Yeah. Wow, LeGavan. I know something a bit about the personal details behind this, so it makes me so happy. Says, I have found new inspiration and motivation from within and the entire world. It will drive me until hopefully old age and death. I like this so much that I'm pinning it. Got to give it your all until death comes. Well, yes, everybody, yes. As the Turkish song goes, as one Turkish song goes, bu dünyada ölüm var, bu dünyada ölüm var. Ne seni kor ne beni, dur bak hele, dur bir haber versene. Which means, death roams this world, death roams this world. He will neither put aside you or me, so sit and let me know. It's actually, these traditional Turkish songs, many city-dwelling Turkish people don't like them because it reminds me of country bumpkins, or it reminds them of country bumpkins and stuff. But they got a lot of based folk wisdom crystallized in them. So yeah. All right. Absent Fish says they have to stand up for their fish brother. Yeah. Have you talked about the Netflix show Life on Our Planet? No, actually, I haven't seen that. It's a dinosaur documentary, but it's like multiple epochs and stuff. And I haven't watched it. Apparently, it's not as good as Prehistoric Planet. It's not as good as PP. So, yeah. By the way, 19 people in the house. Matthias Gray says, where do you find your inspiration, Kozemen? Well, I think my friend LeGavan answered this already. From within and from the entire world. Just look around, you know, you get inspired. Be curious, that helps. I mean, and also, I think like being a little antisocial helps. Not in terms of maybe isolating yourself from people, but like when many people are doing this thing, anything, just because people are doing it, maybe question that. And it makes you a creative person. And it is inspiration. Have you seen Scavenger's Reign? No, I haven't, but I think my good friend TK Sivgin was encouraging me to watch it, and I should watch it sometime, but yeah, sometime soon. 21 people, all right, 15 minutes in. Let's do a roll call. Where are you all people from? Give me your province, your country, your city door number and credit card details and CC number if you want. That was a joke. Let's hear where's everybody from, and let's do a whole represent arc. It's one of the nice rituals we have here in the house of Daddy Kozman. Here are people coming. Kurt Elliott is from Estonia. Nice, man. Nice to see you. You got a great education system there, and a great kind of e-visa entrepreneurship scheme. Anyways, A. Arnold is from Alabama, USA. Theosis is from Panama, the country America created just to host their canal. Ornis is from my cupboard. You live in here, man? Oh. Sorry. It's only the dungeon to my love slaves there, and I don't see your face among them. That was another joke. All right, many more people. Phobos, Geosan is from one of the moons of Mars. Okay. Loser is from England. All right. Like England proper, not the United Kingdom based. Krista is from Portland, Oregon. Hello, Krista, once again. Matthias Garay. I'll answer your question after I went through the roll call. Felidae is from Houston, Texas. All right. Nice. Matthias Garay is from Paraguay. Nice place. Insert plant-related name here is from Glow World, Michigan, USA. Wow. Okay. Is this actually an actual town name? Oh, it's a SpongeBob thing. Goddamn. Sorry, not well versed on SpongeBob literature. Ornis is not in my cupboard, but they're actually in Canada. Dan McAleer is from Scotland, based. Fernando Cotecaix is from Glip Glab, Venus. Absent Fish is from UK, University of Essex. Griffin Garain is from Cincinnati, Ohio. Man, I once went to Cincinnati. A lovely city. You got a hilltop park, and it was really nice. Squid Lord is from Croatia. Popular back in San Diego from a big tour of the country. I don't know. Darya Yavuz is from Turkey. Hello, fellow Turkish friend. Also, which other Turkish lurkers are in the chat? There's got to be a few more of you. And Krista says Michigan is shaped like a mitten. True. Very true. Lexus Galavan asks, are there any other fish species in the world with as much diversity and success as catfish? I don't know. I mean, look, fish come in many groups, and their precise relationships, I don't precisely know. But the family of catfish is an extremely big and widespread group, and especially in places like the Amazon or Orinoco rivers, they get to evolve into some really weird, bizarre shapes. And like for every land-living animal species, there must be 2 or 3 different species of fish. So maybe they are the top species of catfish. Although maybe gobies and blennies, the maritime fish that look like little tadpole guys with big eyes, they might give catfish a run for their money. Milady Cass says, hi. Hello, Milady. And some of them look like women, says Ornis. I don't know. I mean, this is a joke, it's a misogynistic joke. And come on, you're better than this. Come on. Says the guy who makes a dungeon joke with his kitchen cupboard. Okay, we're all bent in some way, I guess. Squid Lord says, I wish Dankelosteus still existed. Best fish. Yes, it's this armored fish with the bizarre biting head. There's been debates about how big it was. Like, was it a huge whale-sized thing or like smaller? A. Arnold is reporting from the ground in Michigan, and they confirmed that it looks like a mitten. Okay. All right. My favorite dinosaur, it has to be Dilophosaurus, I think. I mean, like, there are many, but I like the Dilophosaurus, which has a kind of skull like. So, I think. So, it's got 2 rows of crests on top of its head. So, there's that. And this is the head. People used to think this was a far more gracile animal with a thinner jaw, but now actually they know the full skull, and turns out it's got like a big hacking kind of like thick skull. So yeah. Dilophosaurus. Let me show you. Ornis says the catfish as woman thing was a reference to. Okay, look, come on, man. I mean, I'm not just to. Yeah, okay, it's a joke, tasteless joke, but I mean, there are ladies in the audience, and you got sisters, girlfriends, mothers, aunts, whatever. Like, come on, have some more class. Yes. Milady says, my brother and I are going to a Christmas themed Christmas market in our area called Christ Kindle Market. It opens every November and ends around mid-December. From previous streams, I know, but I'm not going to dox it now, but you had told it yourself that the town you live in the United States has a kind of marketing thing going on about itself since the 1950s, where it kind of brands itself as Christmas Town, USA. So maybe it's one of those things. Yeah. But have a great time in Christ Kindle Market. What do they sell there? Kindles? Insert plant name here says, is a hog eating a chicken comparable to a human eating a cow? No, it's comparable to a human maybe attacking a sheep and devouring it alive. Popular says, I miss Anurognathus, which is the kind of small bat-like flying reptile that probably looked very cute. I miss them too. Are you familiar with Brian Eng and his Dilophosaurus, says Geosen. Brian Eng, last name spelled E-N-G-H, is a great online friend of mine. I have never met them in real life, but I really respect their work. And I remember they had like a pretty gnarly and like thickly built, almost like something like a gigantic, horrible vulture turkey with crests kind of thing. So yeah. Big Mac Savage says, oh my God, Cosmo stream. Hi. Fernando asks, besides fish and crabs, what other body types are very common in nature? Interesting. Worms, obviously. I mean, many different groups of animals have evolved into worm-like shapes. And in fact, I think worms, like by extension, you can count snakes and caecilians and legless lizards in this too. The wormiform body plan is the most common, I think. Milady says they sell all kinds of things in the Christmas market in that town. Okay. Orny says, I went to a Christmas market and got a pin. Great. What was it shaped like? Let's get some questions in here while I kind of do a tea refill. Wormiform says, the scientific term is vermiform. Vermiform. Yes. Lexus Galavan says, when was barbed wire first used in Turkey? I think during the First World War. It was like a turn of the century invention. I think like they got barbed wire everywhere. I mean, like, but I remember well into the 1990s, it was common practice for like military buildings or like important places to be protected by barbed wire. And it was a very like low quality rusty iron sort of barbed wire. I mean, it got rusted immediately, and it had a very dystopian look. It was the same kind of barbed wire you now see in World War II movies and stuff. So yeah. Fernando Kateca says, how common are lizard-like body plans in nature? Because I want to make an alien world full of lizard creatures. Well, I think very common. If you got something like a fish, there's a strong chance that it will come ashore at the land and assume a sort of lizard-like shape. So very common. In fact, there are many lizard-like groups of animals that are not lizards, and there have been many more. Griffin Garain says, by the way, look, guys, I've been running this channel for nearly over 10 years now, you know? And over that time, I've always had the idea of like, you know, I like where I live. I'm very fond of Turkey. But the developments in the world in the last couple of years have slightly made me reconsider that. I still don't want to go anywhere away from Turkey. I don't want to be away from the food. I like the unplanned life. I like the architecture. I like the whole like Mediterranean lifestyle. But let me just say this much. If pressed, I would only want to move to the United States. I mean, like, why would I like, I mean, for some dipshit Euro country? I'm sorry. But like, if you leave your homeland, and I'm sure all European countries are great too, but if you leave your homeland, it's got to be like for something worth going, you know? So, long story short, if any of you are American and want to sponsor my visit to the States, either to give a talk or to give an art exhibit or something like that, get in touch with me. Griffin Gerain says, what was your opinion of Cincinnati when you were there? Most people who live here don't think very fondly of the city. I think it was great because I drove to Cincinnati from New York. I drove through all of those, like all through Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, Allentown, stuff like that. And compared to New York, Cincinnati was great. I drove through Philadelphia. So yeah, that's like, but of course, in the United States, city life these days is kind of becoming really shit really fast due to cost of living, high rents, high crime, homelessness, and, well, drug-related issues. And plus, there's an unspoken epidemic of legal drugs, opioids and shit that are just destroying lives. It's horrible. It's one of those awful things. You're going to look back in 100 years and say, wow, these people were real barbarians. Yeah, I mean, but so that's the thing with the United States. Even in that condition, it's like still a better kind of life than many parts of the world. You just, as a British politician once said, you never had it so good. You never had it so good, seriously. And yes, the absence of any social security is a shame. You're only a car breakdown or a medical bill away from complete bankruptcy. But I mean, it is deeply unfair, and let's not even get started about the racism. But compared to other parts of the world, if you work hard, if you know what you're doing, you do get the return of your labor. Whereas in most of the rest of the world, even in developed places like Europe or England, like American friends, pay close attention to what Daddy Cosman is saying now. You can be good at your work in many other parts of the world, but still be treated unfairly, because many other parts of the world have these unfair social pyramids where you need corruption or some clout just to survive, just to fucking survive. I mean, like, don't ever assume I was just an ordinary Turkish citizen, okay? You had to be, back in my day growing up, you had to be unfairly privileged in order to live out, just like, I don't know, play Sonic the Hedgehog on the Mega Drive or whatever in Turkey. So in that respect, you never had it so good. I don't think humanity ever had it so good, and I don't think it will ever have it that good. So yeah, insert plant name here says, USA, USA, USA. Okay. Boa tarde, good evening, says Gabriel. Milady Class says, did you drive through Allentown? You mean like the city I live? Yeah, I drove through that city. Didn't know any of you, of course, back then. I wish I had. Theosis Exe says, what are your thoughts on Hymenopteran insects? All right, 1 minute. You mean these fucking insects, motherfucker? Oh my god, look at this. It's an awesome volume. Hymenoptera, the natural history and diversity of wasps, bees, and ants by Stefano A. Marshall. This goddamn brick of an encyclopedia, it should tell you I really love these insects. I love them so much. They're beautiful. Oh my god. I mean, like growing up, I was always attracted to girls who looked like this and like. But this book, all jokes aside, is amazing. It includes the entire diversity of the group, which also includes every species of ant. It's got amazing pictures, and like when you read this book, it's also the text is amazing too. I mean, it's like really like scientific but not dry. Every sentence they drop some amazing details and like lifestyle things that you never know could be real. Every page there's an illustration. I mean, just look at this. Off there. Look at them. Fakes, frozen, genuine articles. So this insert section is about other insects that mimic poisonous or like dangerous hymenopterans. I mean, this book is just worth every. Look at this. Off. Look at this wasp. Just look at it. It's laying her eggs in some unsuspecting grub in that piece of wood. God, I wish that were me. Oh, shit. Yes, so I love hymenopterans. They're just beautiful. I mean, they're things like this. Look at this. It's not just a wasp, it's something beyond. I mean, it's a form of art. Look at them. Look at this. So I really recommend, like, this book wasn't cheap, but thanks to your Patreon donations, I got it. Seriously. So donate to me on Patreon, please. And, well, it's just one of the big, big, important books in my library. In case you may not know, like, I mean, okay, I fucking drink like ready-made IKEA Arte beer, 2+1. This is like the cheapest form of pre-prepared coffee, okay? I have a very frugal lifestyle, but I only spend money on books and gifts for people I like. So, yeah. Lots of comments. Insert plant-related name here. I really want to visit Pennsylvania one day. Well, I hope you do. I don't know, it's like, for me, affording a trip to the United States is currently out of the question. It's like $1 buys nearly 30 of my currency. And it's bad, man. As the great American philosopher Eminem says, it's bad, man. It's all bad. It's so fucked up now. Dang. It's like that famous song, Eminem's Benzino This. Milady Class says, should your home country be called Turkey or Turkey? All right. That's a nice question. So, growing up, like, there were like some butthurt people who were like, they're calling Turkey to make fun of us, blah, blah, blah. But no, the area has been called Turkey or like Turkia or some form, like the name Turkic has been in it for centuries. If it was up to me, I would still call it Turkey and Turkish. But there was a resolution in the United States passed, I think, in 2021, where now the country is called Turkey. And it's like a populistic move so that people feel great. Nobody calls us Turkey after the bird anymore. But I don't care. Like this whole name thing, I think it's just silly. I mean, they shall know you by your deeds, not by your names. They could call it the Empire of Turks for all I care. What people look at is it a fair place? Is it a place where people are happy? Is it a place where people are hale? And the answer to most of those questions is yes. Turkey is a great place to live, and many people are happy living here. Compared to the rest of the world, it does foreclose certain options to the development of the human soul. But then again, maybe those options should not even be considered. All right. So as far as I'm concerned, they could call it Turkey, but yeah. Insert plant-related name here. What's your favorite species of flightless bird? There are these things called adzbills. So the name goes Adzebill. Let's look. So these are extinct. They're called Aptornis, Aptornis. And they got this sort of like heavy beak, which is kind of like, it's like no other kind of flightless bird ever. I really like those birds somehow. Of course, I'm a big fan of the really mega predatory forest rocket birds too, but adzbills I could live with. In fact, let me draw one. Aptornis. Okay, let's do another drawing. Aptornis skull. So yeah, can you see me? Yeah. Okay. So it's actually a kind of beak that curves downwards strongly, but it's also like kind of robust. And the eye is like this. Maybe a bit smaller, yeah. And the nostril is here. I think the nose hole would be here. Yeah, like a kind of like big downturned chicken with Aptornis. Also notice how this like cheap ass marker, you do a second pass on the lines and you shade. A lesson about drawing is like no object in the world is made out of lines, but they're all made out of fields. So once you realize that, you can create many. You can be very free form with your hand and just like have a nice time. So it is my drawing of Aptornis. Let's sign this. Sign this. 12 now. All right. What do you think, huh? Adzbill, the Aptornis bird. This is a bit imprecise, but it's still a cool drawing. I like it. Okay, moving on. Apparently, there's a book similar to my Hymenoptera book, but it's about nudibranchs. And it's a book I would want to have too. Who's the author? Can you write it to the chat? Pepular says hummingbirds. I like them too. Their biology is nuts. Yes. Turkeys are pretty cool birds, says plant name. Yes. Millet Class says, hot take, every country, city, and part of the world has things that are good and bad about it. Yes. Some have more than most, some have less than most. But yeah, I mean, it's a complicated world. That's all I'll say. Let me check some messages. Oh, all right. Oh, I've been sent a picture of one of you lot watching the stream live. So nice. Thank you. Okay, there's a discussion going about predatory lepidopterans, which are predatory butterflies and relatives. Maybe there are already. I mean, I do know there are moths whose caterpillars are predatory. They look like these like little facehugger kind of things with like really the rest of the body is long and the digits are like close. So when an ant or something comes in, it just like grabs it and just eats it. They're found in Hawaii, and when they metamorphose, they just become boring as gray moths. Just that's all. And I'm sure there's at least one form of Lepidopteran that does eat smaller insects if given the chance. Yeah. Absent Fish says Cameron's Avatar was inspired by Ellen Dear Foster's book Midworld. Have you read it? And what is better? No, I haven't read it. Unfortunately, not. There's a similar book. There's another book called Death World by Harry Harrison, and it's got some like nuances that could be compared to Avatar, but no. Noah Dinosaur. Anyone else not able to understand him, or just me? Do you mean there's a lag in the connection, or like what am I not making clear to you? Huh. Fernando Katekayik says, were there any lizard-like archosaurs? Yes, actually, the first earliest known archosaurs were like pretty much like big iguanas or like monitor lizards with shorter faces. They all kind of started from a lizard-like thing. Milady Class says, do you watch Wendigoon? Yes, I watch the channel sometimes. He's a cool guy, lots of views, as should be expected from a channel with millions of views. He does skim pretty close to the surface sometimes, but that is to be expected. Only weird guys like me do the deep dives. And I am an eccentric. I mean, I don't know. What can I say? Wendigoon channel, yes, is also posting a cryptid iceberg. But there have been many cryptid icebergs before. And like credit where credit's due, some far more successful than Wendigoon's videos. But like when that channel makes it, it's a big deal. All right. You know what? Let's take it's nearly been an hour. Let me just make some coffee. 2-minute coffee break while you ask me some more questions and I just refresh my vocal cords. I'll be right back. You also go get a drink. And also you let me know. How do you see yourself next year? What do you think 2024 is going to bring to you? Answer that. What do you think 2024 is going to bring to you? What do you think 2024 is going to bring to you? What do you think 2024 is going to bring to you? He disappeared, the motherfucker. All right. What's this? All right, let's get some good old 3-in-1 coffee. All right, everybody's listing their hopes. I will read them all, but yeah. List them on. I'm still brewing coffee back there. Oh. God damn. Sometimes, yeah, a 2-minute break is nice to have. That's all I'll say. All right, list me your hopes. I'm just bringing the coffee. Actually, I'll show you the magic video, okay? I'll show you the magic video of how 2-in-1 is made. Look, it's just chemical dust. Wow, unbelievable. Yeah, many people go for fancy coffee, Chemex, or like those Italian brewing things, but yeah, I like a big old messy industrial dust coffee. There's this whole class thing about this coffee where I'm from. So, like, if you want to have coffee like this, everybody thinks you're like, I mean, either tasteless or in their silly minds, poor. I remember once going to a friend's house and like there is sort of more upper middle class, upwardly mobile types. Okay. And then it's a social gathering, you know, so everybody is like, oh, well, yeah, I like drinking Fiji water and shit. So, like, what do you want? I was like, can I have the 2-in-1 coffee? And they're like, 2-in-1? Are you serious? Can't we just like brew you something like Chemex or what the hell they got? I said, no, just like some ready-made coffee. I love ready-made coffee. I want ready-made coffee. I said, oh, well, at least let me get you the fancy. So they actually have a fancier and more expensive kind, which is just the same shit. It's got a different brand. But yeah, okay. I said, okay, give me that, whatever. But I don't get why. I mean, I don't get why this is such a taboo. All right, many comments. All right. Milady class says 2024 will bring me new experiences and make me closer to becoming a veterinary technician. Great, that's really nice to have goals. Based, I really respect you. Best of success. If you have these goals, you're 1/3 of the way there already. What's your favorite Christmas themed food? pretzels with chocolate. Mm, 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 mm. Saturnid morts are insane. Yeah, I love them. I love them so much. A. Arnold says the new year will bring me great success. Squidlord says I don't even want to think about that. Yes. Absent Fish says in the next year I want to make a scientific publication. Just hope to survive. Yeah, most of our stories. Most of us. Plant related name says next year I want to finish writing my book. Sciencey book, but not a proper science book. Okay, take your time and I hope you succeed. In 2024, I want to finish my speculative biology project. What is it about, Blake Richardson? Orny says, I just want to be happier. That's all. Great. Something, that's an interesting name, says, I will be a calmer person. I want that. So have you been dealing with anger issues or panic? I don't know. Whatever it is, I hope you go through it. And I hope you go through it with the least amount of like psychotropic medicine. I fucking kid you not. Many people around me are taking like Prozac or like way harsher stuff. Sometimes it's warranted, but in most times it's just, I mean, really. Lorelei Sinai says cooking stream. Maybe not today, but I will cook this tangerine if you could call that cooking. Popular says they will be starting college. Congratulations. Krista says more art, more paintings of whales, more adventures. All the best. Cheers to that. Noah Dinosaur says, can we see a room tour? I'm actually keeping these confined to the kitchen on purpose because the rest of the house, rest of my room, I mean, I will bring you books from it. And in certain old streams, you can see some details from my bookshelves and stuff. But generally, it's my private thing. So there's a reason why you are in Daddy Cosman's kitchen. I mean, I'd like to, leave some things private. That's all. Instant coffee. Who says Lorelei Sna? Yes, based, my friend. Should I show you the Ottoman Sultan game every child in Turkey played? You peel a tangerine, okay? You peel the tangerine, all right? Then you take your finger, you paint two eyes, like so. Maybe a mouth too if you feel happy about it. Then you throw on the Sultan, and it's a well, it does look more like the Toadstool character from the Mario franchise. Or if you like wear it like this, it looks more like an Ottoman figure, but I obscured the eyes. Anyway, this is how it rolls. The Mandolin to Padishah game. All right. 28 people, nearly 30. I like it. Last stream, we had nearly 60 or 70 people. That was a great thing. So if you're just joining, please call all your friends and loved ones, crushes, people you haven't spoken in 20 years but haven't forgotten. Call them, says there's this weird guy talking about life evolution and oddities and art from his kitchen in Turkey. Come join us and share some tangerines with us. Tangerines and instant coffee. Jacob Clown says you should get a buzz cut. Every few months I get a number 4 buzz cut. But these days I'm enjoying my long flowy hair. The sides are a bit longer than the top, but that can't be helped. I'm not going bald, so I'm very happy about that. Jacob Clown says the tangerine thing might work with another body part. Well, I mean, I mean, if you're that hungry, what can I say? Squidlord says, grow your hair and make a man bun. No. If it gets to that length, I am getting a buzz cut. I'm sorry, but I'm really not happy with man buns. It's just something I don't associate with myself. If you have them, that's okay. Jacob says, you're going to be the one who's eating it. Okay. And he's been banned. I am sorry. Blake Richardson says, have you read Expedition? Yes, I actually have it back here. It's basically Wayne Barlow's amazing book about expedition to an alien planet, and it's like beautifully illustrated. Let me bring it up actually. All right. This is the book. It's, well, one of the most precious books in my library because it inspired me greatly. And it's all about life on an alien planet with great paintings. I mean, like, this is the book that started speculative evolution itself. And the pictures are just beautiful. And there are all these amazing sketches too. And these interested me as much as the pictures themselves back in the day. I really like this book so much. I can't really like splay it open because the binding's a bit old. I don't want pages to fall off, but yeah, Expedition, a life-changing work. Strongly recommended. Like, yeah. Blake Richardson says, what's your favorite creature from Expedition? Probably this guy, the bladderhorn with inflatable horns. And it's just unbelievable. Noah, dinosaur, how much would it cost? Well, man, go to Amazon.com or go to alibris.com. That's ALIBRIS.com. Yeah. Lorelei Sinai says, I just finished up reading Jethro Tull's discography. Milady Class says, my messages keep getting deleted. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on. I just blocked this one pest, but I did not block anybody else. 30 people watching, almost an hour in. What a nice night. Let me check some messages and shit. All right. No more new chats and 27 people in. Okay, why are there no carnivorous trees that are tree-sized? Okay, so Carnivorous plants, I think their whole existence is predicated on insect prey, whereas a tree is a huge organism and like really what is it going to eat? Birds. So the prey distribution would not make that trade-off profitable. Like you need like complicated organs to be a tree-sized carnivorous plant. I mean, there could be trees that are like covered with sap and they would maybe feed on swarms of insects, but then in most places you don't have insect swarms that are that dependable, you know? And the closest you get to that is the bramble, thorny bramble bush, okay? You find it in Europe, in the Mediterranean world. So sometimes sheep get tangled in brambles and die. When they die, the plant actually uses the corpse as fertilizer. So in some way, that's like a low-key way of like a macro predatory plant. Other than that, like getting a tree-sized thing and like having moving parts in it and stuff, it's just like evolutionarily speaking, not profitable. A carnivorous tree just reaching up to eat planes. I mean, that's just physically not possible. It would need to move faster than a heat-seeking missile. A Bermuda tree, okay. Okay, I don't know. Yes, Pepular makes a great point. So apparently carnivorous plants evolve in poor soils that don't have nutrients. If the soil is rich enough to support a tree, then the soil is not poor enough for the plant to need to be predatory. So there's a bit of a contradiction. Very, very good point. Sorry, everybody. Just taking care of some more messages. All right. Well, nobody is sending any more messages. Kind of tired, or is there something wrong with the connection, or is there a lag issue? I don't know. Let me just draw something while you ask more questions. Now, this is the free form kind of drawing, so I'm not thinking about anything, you know? I'm just... And you see how nice it is with this pen. Just do the thin edge with the lines, and then if you want a thicker line, just draw it over again. And like the black marks have a weight all of their own, you see, is a kind of, I don't even know what's happening here. It's a kind of rearing monster. Yeah. Yeah. You got this cool worm-like abstraction. All right. Somebody says, damn. Pepular asks, what art material do you dislike? I like everything. I don't know, maybe glass paints. There are these like weird paints that you're meant to use only for drawing or painting straight on glass. And it's a kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Blake Richardson says, should I make my speculative evolution project in book format? Well, how big is your project? Do you have many creatures? Do you have a few? Because maybe if you just have like a few ideas for a cool concept, it's better off as a website or an online PDF document. If it's bigger, scale it up to a book. But a few pieces of advice I can give you. Number one, some of my friends are doing this, so I'm not like dead set against it. But try not to host it on a social media platform. So it shouldn't be an Instagram project, you know? Instagram might just close its servers in 10 years, and you want this thing to be in there. Actually, go to my channel. There's a beautiful video showing how you can use something like Microsoft Word just to create and showcase your speculative evolution works. So, yeah. All right. Absentfish says, God himself comes to you. Okay. I need to act this out. Wait. God of evolution comes to you right now and asks, what species do you want to make intelligent like humans after humanity perishes? It is up to you. O Fandarosmu, my soldier. Probably bats. It would be cool to have like flightless fruit bats and like flightless spectral bats just flying about and eating stuff. That would be very cool. Blake Richardson says, I have many creatures. Then go to my channel and find the video that says use MS Word to make Spekevo books, and you get all your advice there. Basically, Microsoft Word is actually a great layout tool you can make books in. So go check that out. Loser says, I have a speculative evolution project when I finally get a drawing pad. Any advice for beginners to keep in mind when starting? Well, great question, actually. Thank you. If you're just beginning, it doesn't have to be a big project from the get-go. Maybe you just have some interesting concepts, and it's also very cool and very kosher just to go out saying ideas for different creatures. And all of this doesn't have to be a world all at once. So maybe just make a list of creatures, draw them and write about them, and it could be like your menagerie of creatures. And each creature could be from another universe, so that doesn't matter. So yeah. How will humans be in the year 3000? Pretty much like today. I don't think there's much difference between today's people and the people in the year 1000, do you? It will be just like that. If current trends continue, at least in the developed world, maybe there will be less white people, but I also think that ethnicities are gonna persist, maybe all for the wrong reasons, but 1,000 years is a long time. So I don't know. More robotic, more neotenic traits for the man of the humanity of the year 3000. I don't know. I mean, I think all the neotenic looking people are not gonna leave many children behind, and the effect of technology will be brief, and it's likely that things may kind of softly collapse. So not a big boom, but like softly give up on stuff, you know. So there. just going to be like people in general. I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what their physical features will be like. And certainly not more robotic at all. I think this whole thing with robotics and stuff is just a fad. It's just about selling more products and stuff. So yeah. Matthias Garay says, will you make another project like Snayad or All Tomorrows? Well, I'm currently locked into these two books for at least one more year. Before this, though, I would publish like one history book per year, and I got like quite a lot of interesting books. If you go to my website and click the books tab, you can see them all there. Matthias Garay says, will artificial general intelligence be real? Not really. From the way it looks, it can do amazing things, but it still doesn't have the initiative. And it looks like it never will. So yeah. I mean, there probably will be AI tools that will make everything extremely easier. So for example, in a chat like this, if I had millions of viewers, I would have an AI moderator to moderate things. But you see, I would be telling it what to do. How strong or general or like deadly AI will be is up to the systems you attach to it. But sometimes there could be stuff like in the future there could be stuff like automated justice, because in most countries, maybe for wrong reasons, the legal code is a code. I mean, it's like A, B, very mathematical. Like if this happens, but it's not that, but it's not this, but there's this case that refers to that. It's like very, very suspectable to be AI friendly. And that's a good thing. There would, instead of dealing with maybe judges or arbitration, you would have like AI just make a call like that. It would not, of course, it wouldn't work in every case, and it certainly wouldn't work in like criminal cases, maybe. But in terms of like tax law, commerce law, or patent disputes, like that could automate a whole lot of things. Popular says, what are your thoughts on dreams sometimes being prophetic? Well, actually, I am working on a big dreams video, so I'll answer the questions there, okay? I think this is a very personal intuition, so don't take this as like a scientific hypothesis even. But maybe some dreams kind of cross over to a world beyond our own. Or maybe, as Popular describes here, sometimes the subconscious mind can do some calculations and form some connections without the conscious mind noticing it. And to us, that would feel like ideas or divine inspiration. That's also possible. That's actually more possible than like dreams being in another world, in another dimension, you know? Theosis says, what are your thoughts on Jewish mysticism? It's a whole bizarre, like, I mean, if you want to begin that, you could begin by looking at the Zohar, which was an extremely mystic and complicated book with hundreds of chapters, extremely long. And then on top of that, there are many commentaries and like extremely niche things that sometimes touch upon hermeneutics or alchemy. The person to go to for this stuff is the Esoterica channel. That's ESOTERICA, Esoterica. Go watch that. And like the guy who runs it, Dr. Justin Sledge, is a great guy, knows more about this than I can ever imagine to know. So go watch Esoterica. Matthias Garay, when you're making a speculative evolution project, he asks, do you first draw something and make the storytelling, or vice versa? A bit of both. Sometimes you draw something and you want it in your world, so you write a story around that. Then maybe as you write a story, you realize, okay, this could happen that other way, so that also becomes a creature. both ways, like stitching up and down. If you're following the Esoterica channel, please say hello to Dr. Justin Sledge from me. Squidlord says, historical figure you would like to see a movie about. Wow, nice. Maybe some of the more depraved Roman emperors like Elgabalus, or even like a proper movie about Caligula would be amazing. Or maybe the last Aztec emperor and his encounters with the aliens invading his world. That could be interesting. Also, I would love to, of course, see a like properly well done movie about Atatürk, who is Turkey's secular founding father. So yeah, a lot of historic figures. But whenever I'm thinking about historic figures, and if you follow this channel, I also spoke about this in my Napoleon film review. Historic figures probably were, almost all of them, very difficult and in most cases deranged people. They have to be hungry for power. Even if they did good deeds and like became leaders, they were probably very power hungry, very selfish, very greedy, and they would have like some like skeletons in their closet too. So whenever I'm like thinking about historical figures I admire, I actually look at them through this perspective. Like a human being who's so, they almost have like this predator software in their heads, you know? Everybody else is like a law-abiding citizen, but leaders and historic figures, they're usually like predators. Not in terms of maybe sexual predators, but in most cases that too. They like, well, they want to attack life and grab things, you know? That's a whole like different mindset. And it's a mindset that usually can't be taught. You're born with it. Then there are some leaders who rise up during tragic times and they just like man up or like woman up and like, you know, give it all their A game and make great changes. And those people have different psychologies too. Matthias Garay says, do you think Mothman is real? I mean, certainly the original Mothman book is very interesting and extremely creepy. What happened there, I don't know. If there's any reality, it's more likely to be an interdimensional visitor, or maybe a secret LSD dowsing experiment, like somebody poured LSD into the city water supply. I don't know. Noah Turner says, I want to see a movie where illustrations are medieval depictions of common animals. That's a nice subject. Certainly, it's light years beyond some of the more recent Pixar animations or the Emoji Movie. All right, everybody, it's an hour and 18 minutes. I'm kind of getting sleepy, so I'm just going to call it a night. I mean, last stream we had a 3-hour mega stream, but tonight's a kind of a shorter night, maybe because I'm a bit tired. So I'm going to catch some Z's. So any last comments or last questions? Let's hear them. Why were sauropod dinosaurs so giant? Because they could be. So any last wishes, any last messages? Let's share them now, and I'll soon hit the sack. Noah Turner says, goodbye, Daddy Cosman. Goodbye, my children. Orny says, sleep well when you go. Keep being... Thank you. Thank you so much. Sleep well, says plant-related name. Thank you, my friend. 23 people. We had a nice, cozy night all together. Have some prophetic dreams. That I will. That I will. Squidlord says, dwarves are our collective memory of Neanderthals. That's my headcanon. Maybe. Loser says, good night. Blake Richardson says, do you like me to send you some of my creatures on Instagram? Okay. Matthias Garay, best prehistoric era. probably the Triassic period, right after the Permian extinction and right slightly before the evolution of dinosaurs. Really wild time with lots of strange creatures. Ornis Theosis says, see you in another stream. Thank you. Krista says, enjoy your weekend. Good night. Thank you. You too. See you in another time, brother, says Absent Fish. Well, yeah. All right. An hour and 20 minutes. You've been great. I hope you had a nice time. And as always, consider supporting me on Patreon and beyond. If you're watching this video after the stream, please leave a comment so I know who's watched it after the stream. As always, have a great time. I love you all. Goodbye.